Okay, so it's 3:13 on the 3rd. You know what's trippy though about it is it could be always known as the day before it happened. Because there's fucking more leading into. Um, so I just saw a video in Colorado. They're running emergency tests. I saw a video that Mountain Dew put out the new flavor, Liberty Chill, and the Statue of Liberty is getting blown, or the crown's getting blown off of her. Um, so it seemed like there was another thing. There's so much, or so many people looking at this date and talking about it and stuff. So there's lots of videos, but that both of those seemed like something new or different. Where it's like, keeps being more signs. The signs. You watch the signs. The signs. The signs are all around you. So that's totally true. Yesterday, God, I feel weird. I'm feeling so weird. Everything feels so intense, man. And when I woke up this morning, I didn't know I'm gonna fucking want to get. I can't get comfortable. And every fucking night, like the night before, Stella somehow had put her butt right over by my face, where her tail, like, would start wagging and hit me in the head. And she stayed like that, like almost the whole entire night. And like I would be asleep, and all of a sudden that would be hitting me, and I'd be like, "What the hell?" And then, God, I keep having creepy stuff like that happen too. But then last night, oh my God, this seemed so arranged. Like this seemed like premeditated or something. Not by her, but the so, all the dogs were just totally snoozing away, and I was still watching this Love Island show. It's like fucking 20 or 30 or 40 episodes or something. So, and it is wacky. I just can't even believe how, like, it's so fetish. Our fucking world is, oh, God damn. I just Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm telling you. When you just see the unveiling of what is around you, it's like, oh my God, fetishes and feeding into the impulse of this drive. I swear to God, that's part of the thing too with this sleeping with ancestral, just crossing those lines because it's exciting and fun. Boy, it's a good time. Oh God, yeah. There was this guy who my husband, number 4, the worst of my worst, that he worked with, and the guy had this old suitcase, and I don't know if my husband said, do you if he asked him. I don't think he asked him for it. I think the guy said, I don't know, whatever this interaction was, the suitcase was, I like old suitcases, so here, give it to your wife or whatever. Anyways, so I got this old suitcase. It was full of fetish porn too, just reading fetish porn. It really was nauseating too, because I looked to see like what some of it was, and it was a lot of incest. Like people get off on it, and it's so fetishy. Everything here is so fetishy, and this whole thing with sons wanting to sleep with their moms, like this is biblical too. Like think about these stories, like and even in doesn't what's his name, even though Shakespeare's not the one who really wrote him, supposedly. Oh my mind, that there was a lot of fetish shit in that stuff too. But the thing about the higher mind, the advanced soul, where you're trying to figure yourself out, and you're not, there's not a set parameters. There's you getting to figure your life out. You getting your energy gets to go and figure it out every which way, and so it's not that you can do it wrong. You're just figuring it out, and so the okay, I've got so many things open. Hold on. So the fetishy. I mean, there's different things of how that relationship advances, how it is created, and I think even Freud talks about that. I think that's why a lot of people think of him as just introducing too much sex into society or something. But to me, it's things that you notice. Like, I mean, he probably had a lot of awareness. He was probably a little, attention deficit, a little neurodivergent, a little autistic, a little this, a little that, all their little labels. But he was a little out there. And so when you're a little out there, you notice shit. And so you notice things that other people don't notice. This is why you are so annoying to people because, they're going to a party and I'm watching and then I want to psychoanalyze everything. And why did you do this? How did you come up with like, what is your drive? What is it? What's motivating you? So I totally get that mind, you know me and Sigmund has something in common. And so, anyways, but there's, theories on him introducing so much sexualized content into our perception. But he did talk about the mother-son thing. I can see how it develops in toxic relationships and stuff, but there's another level of it over the soul. And the soul, it has not the boundaries of this place of how our reality and existence. So there's a perimeter, what we call incest, and so we think of it as a limitation, and it's a dark, something you do in the dark. And so the even if people turn on the lights, that's not what I'm saying. Get on the level. So, anyways, but on the soul level, it is that soul has all these different relationships and experiences. So you very well could have been married to this person right before this life and you still feel like these feelings towards them. But if you have that concept or perimeter or this space, this line that is obvious to you, is still a moral compass line. It is not a feed into every impulse. People just are like feed into their every little thing. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna do it. It's like, well, the higher mind is able to witness something, but it is able to create its own parameters by design and not through others' perspective of how this place is created, like a prison of experience. Then these people, they are these are these entanglements that they get themselves in because is a more advanced soul, you're going through your experiences, but your experiences change as you advance. You don't just stay down here in these ones because you learn the consequences. Even when you try it this way, you do it that way. What if I'm over here? What if I'm down here? What if it's okay there? What you try them, but there's this thing inside of you, and that is what you tune into to guide you through. And when you are fed by these dark kind of things, then you stay down into that level. And so that is where, if you want to think of our place being a prison planet, they're imprisoned by their own indulgence into a certain darkness. So it's the goo that holds you. It's not so much them. They give you the place for your goo to attach. So the if you get what I'm saying, them being the vamps, or the ones in charge, or the whatever, the holy land, that one of the creators of that whole thing. But so the higher mind would here lead by example. But I see the higher mind doesn't feed into fetishes and doesn't feed into impulse, doesn't feed into, it doesn't let emotions control them. And what are we seeing as people? What are we seeing as we wake up and we start seeing the people around us? Like, not everybody's into, psychoanalyzing the world, but people are noticing, like, fuck, man, people are fucked up, man. People take things wrong. People, they don't, it's like they don't give themselves parameters or something. It's very indulgent society. It's very, 600-pound society. That's where we're at. And, we're tipping the scales. So I think we're tipping the scales around 1,000 at this point. And then that's what's, we're going to flip it. We're going to flip the scales because we're way heavy in this. And it's all around us. And it's very, yeah, even on this show. Like, in the way that it's just so accepted. Like a whole fucking show, a whole episode thing, yeah, all with S&M where they're all dressed in it, they're all doing stuff, pulling out everything. Oh, do you know what to do with these? Even in the hideaway, this is somebody who you've just met. You're going in the hideaway with them. Well, they got you set up, babe. They've got a whole fucking fetish zone. So, what the fuck? And then you got these people who, yeah, I don't know their deal. I would say uh, young people young, good-looking people, some of them are just, uh, lost surgical enhancement or whatever. But I'm telling you, these girls do their butt work, though. Fuck, man. And they're all got their butts hanging out. I've never seen so many fucking butts. Just, they just don't. I even asked my daughter, I said, is this a thing, like, for the young ones now? Every girl just has their butt hanging. I mean, they just wear G-strings, like, that's just the norm. And I know in other countries, like, you can be topless G-string, like, they don't have all the covering. But I don't know how fetishy your culture is. Ours is very, like, people are sexualized. Like, everything is sex, 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 sex. It's not just like, yeah, this person's over there just enjoying the sun. Nope. They're, examined through sexual vision, and everything is about sex here. It's creepy. And so, you can't just be free. You can't just go around with no bra and walk around like, you know, you got everybody looking at, look, there's nipples. It's like, oh my God, what's wrong with you people? Oh my God. Yeah, maybe they grew up on too much National Geographic, or maybe not enough. I don't know. Something's fucking fucked up. But so, well, anyways, so in these relationships, so if you feel these places, like in our society, you shouldn't cross these boundaries or whatever, you have an internal guidance. If it's not on and it's off, then you're here to feel what it feels like to do these things. But if you have, and sometimes you go in and then your compass comes on after. It's like a guilt and shame and, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Those are all aspects in healing. Those are all aspects of self-witnessing, being able to shed the old self because it's inside of you. And so you bring it in, you bring it up and you bring it out. And so you've got these relationships that are super, uh, you know, not not normally societally accepted or acceptable. Then, which we, a lot of us have very strong feelings about this kind of stuff in society. That's where the whole parameter comes from. And there's other cultures where it's not like that. Like, yeah, you just sleep around. Who cares? I mean, in the elite, well, these vamps, I guess, but who knows? Because how long have they been body jumping? But they're always, will keep the bloodline clean. Gotta marry your sister. That's the only choice. It was so fucking full of incest. The royal incest house. So they're a bunch of fucking fetish, fucking weirdo people. But again, who knows how many of them stand there. They don't have the same fucking thoughts about anything. They don't think about, like, That's what keeps them down there. They don't even have a fucking feeling about it. At least, we get a feeling about it. And that's what sets your moral compass. And that's what moves you up and out. These fuckers, they don't have a fucking feeling about it. They don't even understand emotions. They're just like, man, who cares? You just do things. And it's becoming more, but they more separated. But there's going to be more of seeing. It's like drops right now. Oh, the CEO went down. Oh, the CEO's plane went down. Oh, this one ship crashed. This one, it's just like nonstop with these powerful people are going down, nonstop all the time. And then when it's a drama like this diddler thing it's to bring and show more things. It's to create outrage because the people who have been hanging on it are fucking outraged. Like they are. My daughter is so like, I cannot fucking believe it. She's so pissed off. And don't forget, she's very there's things playing out in different divisions to have an effect. And each person took that ride. I'm doing this ride. So it's their experience. But though people are pissed off, and I look at it as like, well, somebody else is about to be exposed now. It's just a chain of exposing. It's just they're bringing the, yeah, okay, so like a chain can be in the dirt or in the mud or in the sand or something, and you're pulling it, and it just keeps more and more and more, keeps going. So that's how I was seeing it. And then when you're pulling it, sometimes, it's like in there still. It's not all the way out. So this is being exposed. The chain is being exposed. So it's not just, because that fucking guy on trial, he's not the original one. No fucking way. That guy was so fucking, there's a lot of these people who are gone, 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 baby. They aren't around. They are their punishment. This is just the replay. And it went down. This is how it goes down, but yeah, it went down a lot more like knowing the people's crimes, being able to stop it's like a convoy of darkness. Like if you would go and try and go up against it, it came at you from all directions. And so it had to be blocked. They had to block off all of the different avenues in the veins of the beast, the different receptacle, the ways that these people controlled the world. And so they had to do a lot of blocking. And so then that is, like, they just go in and do it, but then they got to show us because we don't know what the fuck's going on. We're all just sitting here like, ah. So then they got to have this big show and play it all out in this fun and extraordinary way so that we can see this world, because at this time the world is in a reset of energy. It's in the swing back. It's we gone way too far. We tipped the scales. It's going over here now. That's the process that is happening around us. It's an automatic process, and they are keeping people. The one side is keeping people in the dark, which creates them to be more of a victim to circumstance, because there's so many bad things going on in the world. And then so there's and they keep people in the dark, distracting them with things and making them busy time with the mind. And then because it is a slowing down and looking around and taking time, but they have people rushing, and the more uncomfortable they become in their soul, the more just take this, you'll feel better. Shut up. So it's you know what I'm saying. So anyways, okay, let's go back to this perv thing. These fucking people sleeping there, because on the soul level, so you come in and you feel this acquaintance with this person, the sex drive or whatever, which, if you listen to Freud, I don't know all of this stuff, what he says or whatever. It's like, oh, when a boy was developing his sexual arousal, he saw his mom in her panties, and that was it for him. He was, forevermore. She was the sexual desire, which, and I've heard of guys, heard this from people is, when the teenagers and that kind of stuff happening and them going in and getting their mom's underwear and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I think there is some. I think boys kind of lose it a little bit when their testosterone kicks in. Some of them really lose it, and they just like, anywhere, come on, come on. It's like 10 times a day. That's not enough. It's like they get fucking crazy. So it's like fucking Archie. That's what they're like. Adolescent, boys going into their more developed years. Yeah, they're like fucking Archie, like this. And Max too, but Max is okay. So we're getting off of them and we're going on to, oh yeah, because I didn't even finish that about, when Stella last night where I said it seemed like it was premeditated. Because I go in there, I lay down, and she's been in there, she's just snoozing away. She just got up, just went in the tent, and just went to bed. And so she'd been in there a long time. She's snoring her head off. And so I was like, well, I'm going to go in and go to bed, I guess, because may as well sleep while, going's good. So I go in there and give her some kisses, and I lay down. And Archie comes right in, come on. He's all excited and wants to come and lay by me. And so he's such a character, this guy. And so then, so she's laying there, she's snoring her head off. I go get myself all cozy in my cocoon. And then all of a sudden she starts panting and panting and panting and panting and panting. So fucking loud. And it is hot and steamy, especially in the afternoon, by noon until 10 o'clock at night or something. It's very steamy. Like right now there's a little bit of a coolness in the air, but fuck, it's gonna go stale here in a little bit. Which I think that there's a mouse too. You can listen and see if you hear scratching, but what the fuck, man? There's so much birdseed and shit. Why the hell are you coming in here? Fuck with us, man. And got some giant ass fucking bug this morning. So anyways, she's sitting there just panting, but I was going deep into my meditation. Like I was deep into thinking. I was thinking, oh yeah, I was like starting on my toes and working on healing my body and stuff. And then all of a sudden she turns and she goes and she puts her face right next to my face and just sits there panting and panting and panting. I came out of it at that point. And I was just like, it just sucked me right in. And then I was like, oh my God. And then I could not get back in a relaxed state again. I guess she just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I was like, okay, so who's trying to stop me on this fucking thing? I'm trying to meditate on healing my body, and you fuckers, like all the fucking time. So, anyways, that's the premeditation. Like, motherfuckers, they just fuck with me all the time, especially when I go into my meditation, whatever you want to call it. To me, I guess, you have a name for it or something, but it just like go in and out of it. Like I did it in class all the time. I just go, I space out. Like when you see people who are spaced out, spacey, they just can go in other places in their mind. It just is gone. And then you're there. You're really in this other place. And so, okay, so back on these fetishes. Okay, so you got these guys want to sleep with their moms, and they do. Some of the moms want to sleep back. Yes. But so you go in this world, and then you have this draw into this relationship. But you have all these rules and boundaries around you, and you cross over them. That is it. Just because you can cross them doesn't mean you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, that's just it, Everybody should keep that motto in their mind. Anytime you're coming up against something, just because I can do it doesn't mean I should. You should probably think about it. And think about what is the aftermath, what is the complications, what are the and you can hold yourself back and never do anything, or you can get into the groove of balance. And, because you can take anything to any extreme, because it shouldn't be stopping you from living, but it should also be giving you a parameter, like an example of self, so that you can be proud of yourself. Because when you just indulge into things, you're going to feel it in your heart and soul. So those parameters are not just necessarily for you. Yeah, it's kind of like, uh, yeah, it's like souls know them and put them out there, kind of. There was some of that here, but then the type of trying to control people and make them. It's like the thing you're taking away people's learning. So you can't go that extreme into it. They can't just say, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, because you're here to learn some shit. You got to be able to do some stuff, even weird shit. So so you would go and you indulge into that, then there would be things that you would have, an aftermath, a response, a consequence, and that would be your experience of learning or whatever. But there would still be the feeling of, you would see the things that were wrong, and it's like the more advanced soul, would it not go and cross into those kind of relationships, because they would be like respectful of the certain boundaries in certain relationship consequences. Like, they would be more respectful of that, because they would know inside of themselves the pain that they would feel, and the pain that they would feel, and then that's something else. But it's like an understanding of like what it works and what is hurtful or something. And it's not like in indulging back into that relationship. So if you were married to them in the past one, and you came into this one and you felt this attraction to them, and then you thought, well, still, like, why would I feel that? Because this is this person and we have this role to play. Like, there's such an advancement in how you can look at things through your soul. And they're so looking at it from way down here, instead of going up here and looking at stuff. And so they feed into these impulses and these sex drives and stuff. And when you feed into the beast, it gets hungrier and hungrier, and that's where we just create more and more fetish. It's got to get pervier and pervier in order to feed the beast, and people just do it and do it and do it. It's pretty soon, it's like a drug addict who's like, they can't get high anymore. And that's what people do to themselves. So but so if you feed into that, there's a lot of lessons and consequences and stuff like that. And but that higher mind would have, like, it would help them setting their moral compass, like like they go into a relationship, and it's it would be crossing bound. But see, there's some souls that come to just cross them. Like, you got to figure your stuff out, each person, because you can be here to cross certain ones so that you have the consequences. But there's such a thing about, as a higher mind, of slowing down and noticing and thinking things through. Don't feeding into impulses and stuff, so that you stop, drop, and roll and think. Is this because in there, in that communication, it will give you, man, yeah, you gotta fine tune that shit, because there's a lot of dark energy that'll be like, yeah, you don't know, that's what you gotta do. Yeah, and they'll tell you every reason why you gotta. They'll feed into your impulses. That's another thing too, is the unawareness of people having the lack of awareness of the dark energy, in the way it has mind control over people, in that they just they just do whatever it says, because they're just don't have any awareness it's even there. So it's just yakking away, getting them, yeah, do that, yeah, do that, and they feed off of. So think of you as their weapon. They can get you to fucking like I hear bunker house, but I see like a bull in a china shop, and you just going through life, just slamming into shit, and then and them just riding your thing, and everything you're slamming into, they're just grabbing that energy, just sucking it away, and you're going through life miserable. You don't even know what the fuck. Why is nobody like me? Why do I have such a hard time? And people are so like, oh my God, when people are in their victim mentality, it's so out there right now. It's so like extreme. It's like the flamboyant side. It's like all this drag queen energy or something, It's intense, man. So the victim, like poor me. But I'm telling you, those would be things that you are carrying from past lives too. Everything is God shit that you got to get down and dirty with yourself to figure out, like, why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? What drives me? What am I doing? And how do I fix it? How do I make my relationships better? And I'm telling you, it all boils down to self-respect and stuff. People don't even realize, like, people can get really caught up in, like, they project so much about their own self-image, and everybody else is out to get them or whatever, and so they project out. And it's like, dude, start projecting in. Learn how to accept yourself, because that's what is attractive. That's what's attractive to other people, is confidence and the loving yourself. This high value of yourself. It has no difference over if you're fat, skinny, tall, short. None of that. And people get so caught up in it, what they are, and they're not good enough, and they compare themselves to the polar opposite, and so they just keep feeding themselves. But it's you are doing this to yourself. There is no set thing out there in the world, no matter how many fucking beauty trends or whatever they try and set. There is no set thing. Go in the world and look at everybody. Everybody looks different. They come in different packages, different colors, different sizes, different everything. And so there's no set thing. So when you are sitting and thinking you're not good enough for who? There's tons of people. It doesn't matter what your size is. There's people who like all sizes, all colors, all ranges. Just because you want to focus on the one that doesn't like you and feed into that. That is the victim mentality. Oh, poor me, this person over there. They don't like me, so nobody likes me. It's like, give it a fucking rest, man. When you're feeling that way, what you want to do is focus on learning how to love and accept yourself. I'm telling you, because that is what will attract you more people. That's going to make you attractive. When you just go around everybody and whine and cry about how much you hate yourself, what do you think that does to people? How do you think people feel? Do you think everybody wants to be around you? Because you suck the life out of people when you do that. Hold on, I keep getting attacked in my throat. Not the first time. There was a huge attack of that back at the cabin, but now it's been like I will just be doing nothing. It's just I keep getting these total attacks in my throat. Or I keep thinking, is it something I'm breathing in? And it's got to be. God, it hurts. I don't know. It's fucking roll. So, and it feels like I'm just kicking. Okay, so we got the fetishes. Feed into your stuff, but if you're gonna feed into it, you're gonna learn lessons from it. And in the higher mind, yeah, you would think things through more. Like, that's low vibration when you just do it. So even if you're programmed to do it, that is still so you can break through it. Not is so fucking, like a cheese grater in my throat or something. But that's a weak point in my throat. Yeah, I gotta look at that. Try and look at that today. Maybe that's why they're trying to stop me on my healing. But because I have the scar tissue in there, and I would say probably something about me not being able to speak my truth at some point in my life. Maybe it was even when I got hung or whatever, and I wasn't able to speak my truth, and not being able to speak my truth was the end of that character or something. So I don't know. But there's something. I mean, there's a reason why there's scar tissue, and there's a reason why they go in and attack it all the time. This is definitely a weak point. So if there's a weak point, there's something I need to heal. So anyways, I'm going to think more about that today and try and figure out, like, because there has been so many attacks lately, just non-fucking stop. I'm just talking to anybody. Oh, yesterday, I didn't ever finish this either. Yesterday, my grandson came by with the other grandma. So he's staying with, because he was staying with his dad. And then his dad's run into problems, but he's still alive, thank God. But he's in a place to keep him alive right now. Because he was, oh man, he was having lots of stuff. He even started himself on fire by accident. And he got bad burns and stuff. So he's in a place right now where there's some people who are very self-indulgent, but it is also, what is that word? Like, I hear self-mutilate, self-harm, but no, I see, but it's the same kind of thing. When people just, God damn. This is ridiculous, man. Fuck. But a self-indulgent, anyways, self-harm. There's a lot of that in the world because they don't know how to take care of themselves. They just run themselves into the ground and indulge into their pain and suffering. Guilt and shame can drive people. And so they have to look for an escape. And a lot of people find escape through drugs and alcohol. It can be a lot of different things. So sex too, I think. So anyways, but the other, because those two were best friends from school. My other son-in-law, the one that died, that these two were best friends. So this other one totally crashed out. He wasn't doing, neither of them were doing so good. Like, it was going, like a horse race there for a while of like, fuck, everybody's like, watching like what's gonna go down, because everybody, started losing it. And everybody started going out at it. Everybody started going back on drugs and stuff. And so then it was like, fuck, what's going to happen? And the one son-in-law died, and the other one is just spinning down worse and worse. So anyways, now he's in a place where he's safe. But my grandson then is staying with his mom, who's the other grandma. And so they came over because my grandson's cat all of a sudden started fighting with the grandma's cats, and they had to keep it separated in the house. And so I don't know whatever with the drama or whatever. So anyways, his cat's coming over here to stay for a while to see if because he wants to get his own place, but he can't get one yet. And it's gonna be, there's gonna keep being things until things change. We're gonna keep running into things. I mean, I hope the 4th does create a big change. I hope it brings it on so that we can bust on through and get over to where we can have affordable housing, and where I think we're not even going to be charged, but there could be a bridge to get there. But anyways, so we'll have to see. But fuck, I hope it does. Like, come on. Hopefully this is the day before everything changed. And but anyways, so uh, they came over. She was a nurse too, so we had some talks and stuff. We were talking about stuff like that. But it was so good to see him. He's such a man now, and he's my oldest grandson now, because now I have two little grandsons, and because it's mostly girl family. But anyways, but now there's him, and he I don't know. It was just good to get to see him, and he's just so grown up now, and he's so tall. He went and got his own. He went and bought himself a truck. He went and took himself to go take the driver's test. Like he's had to do all these things for himself. And I was telling him how proud I was that he, did that. And he said, you just have no idea how much that builds up inside your character to do things that are hard like that. And then the other grandma, she's like, yeah, when he got there, he was so used to his dad doing everything for him. He was like, he didn't, well, I can't do that, I can't do that. So she pushed more on, like, no, you can do that, you can do that, go do that. You're going to go do that for yourself, because it builds so much inside of you, where you start seeing, like, fuck, I'm really capable. And I told him, I said, don't you see now, like, you can do anything, like, you can fucking handle shit. And he's like, yeah, because you do. You build up to where, like, fuck, I'm a badass, man. I can get some shit done, man. So anyways, it was great to see them and to talk, but it reminded me too of, because we were talking about the mental mental health, and one of the things we were talking about, the mental health too, and my mom's sitting there, was because she's Native American, and or half, or her mom was, like, they were from the reservation, and so I think she's full, but I'm not sure. But anyways, she could be, her dad could have been white. I'm not sure. But anyways, she is super spiritual. And so her and I can always talk about it. She's the one who came into my house and told me about the girl who was on my stairs. And we did this whole cleansing my house and stuff. And when I did, because for a while I thought I was going to do QHHTs on people. So I was doing them, I was doing that class, and I was doing them on people. And I did one on her. And I made the mistake. She was the first one I think I did. And I kind of thought, like, is she faking? Because she was so fucking deep into it. And she was talking to all these dead people, all these people who had died in her family, just all these people. And somebody who she knew in high school came, and she had no idea he had died. And but the thing where I screwed up, because I wasn't keeping notes, I was just doing it. And her brother that was murdered came and told her who did it. And so when she woke up and I told her that, she goes, who didn't you? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, oh. So I should do another one on her, but she's super interesting, because she goes so, like, it was good. But it was more of talking to all these different people and stuff, so it wasn't telling about the future of the world or anything. And but it was really interesting. But anyways, yeah, the one told her this big thing, and then I didn't write it down and didn't give her the name. And he said the name. I was like, I don't know. So anyways, we all make mistakes. But you know, well, I mean, what's she gonna do with that information anyways? Take it to the cops? Well, I was hypnotized, and I know. My brother told me. But, or go get revenge, I mean, maybe she wasn't supposed to know. Maybe she would have become revengeful or whatever. But anyway, so we have a strong understanding of the spiritual world. Like, I've been in two worlds for my whole life. And anyone who has spiritual awareness, you have entered another field of existence. So you are playing in two worlds at once. And so we were talking about the mental health thing, and the people who have schizophrenia and stuff, and how the system convinces them, because you know, those of us who can tell, know that world is real, that's really happening. And they're told, no, it's in your head, it's not really happening. But for those of us who have an awareness of it, it's like, that's really happening. They're really there. They're really fucking with you. You got to push them back. You got to tell them to fuck off and get the fuck out of here. And push back on them. Otherwise, they will engulf you. They'll take you over. They'll just suck all of your energy out and stuff. And then look at how this system tells these people, like, it's not real, and it fucks them up. And then they put them on all this stuff. It fucks them up. You got to empower people. Like, it is real. All the craziest shit that you can imagine is real. The crazier the shit you can imagine, that's what's real. The imagination has no, it's just vast, and that's real. Like anything that can be. Okay, this was something I was thinking about this morning. Okay, what was that? Because, oh yeah, because Amy sent this video to me, and it was talking about this train in Italy, and I don't know, maybe it was 1903, maybe it was 1847, maybe it was 1623. I don't fucking know. But it was some train that these guys made. And so it's these 3 cars, and it was this, so people could go on it. And then they wanted to pull all these, you know, make it like a elite, kind of like a fancy thing. You could go on these train trip and stuff. So they made this big, all-inclusive train trip thing, and it had all these rich people come. So they all load up on this train, and they were all looking forward to this this tunnel. It was going to go through this really fantastic tunnel that was made through this mountain, this really long tunnel. And so it went in and never came in, it just disappeared. And so this video talking about this, and what happened to the train. It was never seen, nothing, you know, it never was anywhere. Well, because it went into a portal. And but the thing I was thinking about it was that it's so crazy because, you know, they could be making this whole story up, you know, because we have so much false history. They just pull shit out, like the computer's just sitting there cranking out stories, and they sell them to us as being real because it happened a long time ago and we don't fucking know. And so, but then I was like, well, even if it's not real, it can really happen. That's true. That can really happen. So, yeah, it would be more of a disclosure so we would know. Because you would think if this shit was really happening and trains were really, like, how did they get people to really not question it? How did they, because the Bermuda Triangle, that used to get me when I was a kid. I used to be like, because I knew what was going on. I knew what they're going into these other, that, you know, they may disappear in our realm, but they're just in another one. And so I knew that. I knew that the Bermuda Triangle, I knew it had to do with aliens. I wasn't so clear on the like the portals and the frequency. Like there's a lot of things I didn't know, but I knew that that had to do with aliens and that people were going through something and going into another place. And so and I can't be the only one who, you know, when your spidey senses go off, your guides tell you shit. So I don't know, but that's the thing that gets me is when all this stuff, we got planes disappearing, like just in my own life, there's been so many things that have disappeared, planes and boats and all sorts of shit. So trains. So if we've got this world where things are disappearing, why do we never question it? Why do we just keep on going? Yeah, well, it disappeared. Yeah, that back in 1903. Yeah, the next year, this is gonna, like, just constant things disappearing, and we just go along like, man, it just disappeared. I don't know, it's weird. So it's like, why aren't we questioning it more? And how has it been hundreds of years? Like, wouldn't we catch on at some point? Like, and start calling, like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, so many things just seem weird to me. Like, not questioning things, not just feeding into every impulse, just doing every fucking thing. You know, how many people think, like, you could just get away with it. Nobody saw it, so does it really happen? Yes. 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 Every fucking thing. Every fucking moment of your life. Yeah. It really happened. And there's a part of you that will let you know. You can hide from it as long as you want to, but that's just piling up your debt. So, yeah, don't don't feed into that illusion. Yeah, whatever. Nobody's seeing you. Okay. Yeah, everybody's seeing you. Yeah, there's a lot of seeing you. So you better get on board and have an understanding. You are being witnessed at all times. So, yeah, you are being seen. And that's not even going to be the thing that is going to be the shame and guilt perpetuator. That is going to be you. That's your own higher self. That's your own advanced self. That's the side of you who sits and watches all the stupid shit you do and just, but then once you look over, oh, they're giving you the look. They're giving you the look and you're going to feel it. And so you're going to feel like, oh, God, why did I do that? Why would I do that? Oh, God, what's wrong with me? And you got to go through that and you'll figure it out. That's the only way to move forward, to advance yourself. Try and figure out, like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? So that you can keep moving out of this energy, out of this dark energy that has a hold on you. And, but there is, uh, I keep being like, the part of the past life connection thing. So these relationship boundaries, because I know that I ever since the thing of knowing, I mean, when I started, so when was it? Like, I try and nail it down or whatever. Because when did I start knowing about gay people? Like, when I started knowing that there was people who were gay. Yeah, it was in high school or junior high. Okay, and then I knew of reincarnation. That was out of high school. That was right after high school. That was a weird sound. Confirmation. So things I knew before came from my guidance, but then there would be information that would come. So then I started having reference to also base my thoughts or theories, my insights, my epiphany, whatever. I had more reference, but most of the stuff comes from inside of my mind. And so I knew, I'm just trying to think of when it was that I knew, like I could see the connection to, no, what the, it was the confusion where the people thought that they were boy, that confusion, like when they were, like, well, I'm supposed to be a boy, but I feel like a girl. That confusion. That is, I knew that was a soul confusion, like, because you're not either. You're neither one. So how would you align more to one or the other? And so your soul's just an orb of, you're just an energetic light source. You're just an orb. So you don't have a sexual identity. And so when you feel very aligned to one or the other, then that's something that is holding you. And because you come in, you should just be able to fluctuate and flow through either, because you're neither. And so it's just putting on the outfit, and then that's why we need to learn how to accept all the different references or preferences or the different aspects of the definition of girl, boy, of, because you have some masculine girls and you have some feminine boys, but you are neither nor. So you are an example of which you find, or which you align, and which you bring forth. That is the you. And so you can have, you could have been from you just left this really girly life of yourself, and then you come into this one, it's like, wait, I don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. Maybe I think I'm supposed to, you can feed into that, lust of self or whatever, like, I feel like I need to wear more jewelry. I need to wear skirts. I need to, whatever. If you're a cross-dresser in one way or another, because girls can get real accepted as being cross-dressers, but back in the past, it was not at all. But girls can get away with wearing guy clothes all the time. I wear lots of guy clothes. More than guys wearing girl clothes. That is way more where people look at them, sideways. But we should all be able to just kind of, put ourselves out there however we want to put ourselves out there. And that should just be kind of accepted, because we get too in the concept of a preference or something. This is the whole argument on the one side. It's like they all have that understanding, like, I don't have a gender. I'm a genderless. I'm a they, them. I'm this, that, and the other. So that was that whole thing of the, like in my soul, I'm not this thing that you guys are trying to tell me I am. And so that was all these energies are the pulling free of the being told of who and what you are. So it's been going on a long time. Because how long has that been going on? Those people have been fighting for that, like, I'm neither nor, I'm this or that, I'm it, I'm not this identity that you keep telling me I am. And then it goes more into, like, they want to sit there and say, like, the genitals have no thing. But to me, in the spiritual world, it's like, well, your genitals are your guide to what you're here to experience from the role of that perspective. So you got to still get into the part. But you have a lot of people who are disconnected from their spirits, so they don't understand that part of it. But I knew there was just certain things where I saw people being uncomfortable in certain things that I knew it had to do with the past life confusion and the loss of their spiritual side of themselves, not connecting into that world and understanding. So there was things that I knew and understood a long time ago about different things, but but it does just feed off of that thing. Like when people come into these weird, all of the different things, super toxic relationships can be stuff from past lives that you're working out. These weird sexual desire things too. All the things that, like, your fears and stuff. There's a whole aspect of yourself that is you, not this, but this other thing, this thing that goes through life after life after life, that goes through page after page after page. That your whole soul, your whole aspect of self, your whole orb, that. And so that feeds into who you are. That writes your code. And so that is what you want to connect more to, the code writer, what gives you your code. And so it's through all of those experiences or examples of existence that write your code, how you perceive them, how you experience them, how you look at them. That is what designed you. And so you, in your code changes. You don't, it's not like you have the same code and then, this life right here is like rewriting my code. It's like, it's adding more to my code. In every example of self, every life experience adds more to your code. Man, I gotta get so far over when she starts snoring her head off. I swear to God, see, all that stuff to me is the interference or something, and then the AI adds into it too, because it will put the snoring over my voice, and it will make it where you can't hear, even though where I'm right here, it's gonna highlight that. I've heard where it will highlight the fucking fridge humming and shit. It's like, that's why I try and turn everything off, because there's so much sounds that the AI takes and is like, well, let's just put this one up there. And then who's running the AI? What spirits have control over that, I mean, they're coming through the airwaves and shit. Which Las Vegas had a really big bad storm, And Colorado's getting emergency alerts. Chicago had a big shoot, a big drive-by shooting, but a big, uh, like a I don't know, an album or something, some music thing. And so, uh, the lady who was reporting on this said that there was nothing on the media. So I don't know if they're reporting on it yet. And then they skew stories and change them, and you never know what the real truth is. Like I don't believe that bullshit about uh, the Idaho thing. I mean, it could have really happened. These people could have really, but I don't believe the storyline. I don't believe that this kid and his parent, like, no, I don't believe that. It would be way more, maybe this kid has got, maybe he really had emotional problems. Maybe he was really on some of these things, and maybe he was really seeing a counselor, and that's what they get the mind control over them. And then they have that skull to whatever, speaking through the megaphone into some people's minds. And so, they could have told him to do that, and they start running people like they're robots. They've got mind control over them. So they could have told him to do that, and it could have really happened, but it wouldn't have been like him doing it. And maybe they want to take these parents down or something. Maybe they or Jay, like, because there's pictures of them at the office and wearing it. So I have no idea. No, because that wasn't the White House. That had to be a tour. Yeah, because that was the Oval Office where those pictures were. But maybe those people were, I don't know, they could be J6ers and stuff. Like, who knows? Who knows what the thing is? But I would see it more of like the instigators going in and starting the fires, and then them using this kid as their scapegoat. But it would be pre-planned, like, well, that's the perfect patsy right there, so we're gonna go over there and do this. And who knows? I don't know. There's just so many of these stories. There's more to them. They want to give us this. It's not even just the simplified version. It's they want to lead our minds in a direction. So they want to take us on a ride. And it's like, I'm not going on that ride. I just can look at it and be like, I just don't believe you. So whatever, everybody can get caught up in the drama and the storyline and stuff. I just don't believe it. And I'm not saying these people didn't really die or anything. I'm saying that whatever story they're pumping out, it's like, give me a new one, because I don't believe this one. So, my Lord, God, everything is just so much, man. Everything is so much. Everything's so intense that um, and I think I did say on that show how fetishy. I just can't even believe on a show. Like, there's got to be kids that can access this show. In our society, we're just out there, and all the kids on this, because these people are in their 20s, and it's like, you're just on TV. You just, I don't know, man. Maybe it would have. It's like, oh, who cares? Who cares? It's like, well, maybe we need to. Maybe we need to care. Maybe we need to think like this is okay and this isn't okay. And not because these people are telling us, but because in our heart and soul that we just know, like, not to feed into some of this stuff. But, you want to be on these shows, and these shows are like, oh, this is what you're going to do. Well, you're desperate to be seen, then you go and do this stuff. And then, wagging the money in front of you too, so that you're like, oh, well, I'm going to get this money. I could win. I could have money. And then a lot of these people that come off these shows get deals too. So they get deals because the girl who's the MC on this show is off of another show that was a huge drama. It was, I think it was, what was that show called? I used to watch a long time ago. It's one of the Vanderpump shows. It was, so she owned restaurants and stuff. There's so much weird stuff with these people and their money. Because she owned all these restaurants and bars or whatever, and they kept being successful. And so she made a show about her employees because there was so much drama and so much stuff going on all the time. She decided to make a show, but she's already off of the Housewives of. I think she's one of the original Housewives of wherever it was, or maybe I don't know who the original ones are, but I think she is. but um, but anyways, whatever with her. So she got another show because I think she's on whatever show, and then she was on Vanderpump Rules. She had a show, and then there's the other show, but maybe that no, this other show is called something like the name of the restaurant or something. And so she was showing all these people, and they were all doing this like, oh my god, all they do is just drink and have sex with each other and have drama, drunk drama, screaming and yelling, fighting each other all the time. It was something to tune into when that was the wave of where we were watching other people spin out on TV. But and I'm watching it right now. Still, like we still have the spinning out on TV. People just indulge into this stuff. But so, um, but the big drama of recently what this lady was involved was because in the show she had um, one of the original waiters and waitress people. They were a couple, and then this other girl came in who was also a bartender. So the two bartenders cut out so he blew off his girl for this bartender girl. And so it was all this drama on the show. And so this girl, uh, which there was all this stuff like we think he was cheating with this one while he was with this one. So it was all of that that went on. So he already showed, how he was. And then they were a couple. And then another girl came around, and she tall skinny model, but they all treat her like she's so stupid, and she's not stupid, but she has a certain tempo. And so they undervalued her by a lot. And so it's been tons of drama around this girl anyways, and this other girl had it out for her, and so it was all this drama. But anyways, so in the big drama that this new MC girl who was off this show, she the one girl starts having an affair with her fella, and so they're having an affair, and this girl doesn't know. Then all of a sudden it all comes out. So she had this big humiliating horrible thing, like she thought they were going to get married and stuff. So this big huge drama that played out. I don't know, I think it was last season or the season before, but now she's on this other show. So now she's the MC, or I guess it's called an MC, the master of ceremonies person. Yeah, so she's the MC of this other show. And I hadn't seen her. And when I was watching it, I kept being like, "Who is that? That girl is so familiar." And then I realized, like, oh, it's what's her name off that show. They just spit him off and put him on another show. Put him on another show. So they get deals and shit. Yeah, I mean, originally she was like a bartender, and then she got into the storyline because the dramas and stuff going on in this bar. And then all those people, one of them right now, he's one of the original ones too, and he was also a bartender, and he was also a sleep around town kind of guy, and very self-indulgent, drinks a lot and stuff like that. And then he ended up getting married, then they had a kid, and they had their own show, offshoot from this show. But now everybody's saying he's become so abusive that they fear for Brittany's life. Jax is gonna kill Brittany. Don't talk about Jax anymore. We need to, stop giving him any play and stuff. So I don't know. Everything's falling apart. But yeah, they get these shows off another show, and it's just like it was just a bartender. But then you got the AOC, and supposedly she's just a bartender too. You got fucking was the Z was he a bartender too? I don't know. He was a performer though. He's like on a boy band or something. I don't know what all, but it's just weird. This whole world, like you just go out and indulge into drinking, drugs, and drama, and then get your own show. Okay, yeah, that's what should be leading us in the world today. And then when they're leading the moral compass, then the moral compass fails and fails and fails and falls and falls and falls, and then we have people who are in their 20s out just with their asses hanging out nonstop. Like there's no. I mean, some of them wear a thing over it sometimes, but it's mostly, and it's see through usually if they wear something over it. But uh, that to just for girls like to go from there was a point in time, not to say that we should be as extreme over here, covering up, nobody can see anything, but we should and we should be comfortable in our own skin and stuff. But this isn't just like I mean, and girls walking around with their asses hanging out on a dating show and leading in with sex and doing S&M and all this stuff. Like, what this just represents our society. It just represents who we are at our core, and it just like people will disrespect you as long as you let them disrespect you. And these people don't even know. Nobody even is like don't even value themselves enough to be like self-respect. What are you talking about? That is so old-fashioned. Everybody's on like Tinder and stuff. But what's funny too is on this thing, they did have like how many, they had one of their games, of getting to know each other. Like how many people have you slept with? How many people did you kiss in one day? How many people have you slept with in one day? How many people did you have you sent nudes to and stuff like that? One guy was over 1,000. He just sends naked pictures of it. He sends dick pics to everybody. And another guy, he was 800 plus, but then a lot of them were like, the pictures sent out was a little bit more, a 30, 40. One girl had one girl had only been with one guy. A lot of them had not been with tons of people. They were teens. The girl who was with the most, she was with 18. The guy who was with the most, he was hundreds. No, one guy was 108 and one guy was 104. And they're like 25, 26 years old. And so I don't know in this day and time, what, but there was some that had like not done a lot of, stuff. Like they weren't, but then they get in there and they all act like, I don't know, maybe everybody just wants to do S&M. I don't. Like that's the last thing I want is to feel pain in regards to pleasure. It's like, and to feel humiliation. Like I need to humiliate myself. I need to feel pain. Like I'm shaming myself for feeling good. It's like, I don't know. That seems like it's kind of something that you got to work through. like you may have issues if you are. I don't know. Because there's people who really get off on it and think like, and there's people like me. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get wanting to nipple clamps and all this weird shit. No, thank you. But do you, whatever. If that's what you want to do. I would just definitely look at it as like there's probably some deeper issues going. It is okay to enjoy feeling good. So you don't have to shame yourself and hurt yourself, and then to be so submissive, like like you're gonna go to your knees and be walked on a chain and stuff for this other person. Like what? No, thank you. And I don't even being tied up. No, I don't want to be tied up. No, I want to be able to. No, like, and I know that there's tons of people who want to be tied up. Like it's like almost to me, it's like you want to have somebody do stuff with you so that you don't take responsibility for it or something. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand all this stuff of what drives it. So, some people have different drives and motivations, but everything is here to teach you things. And the way I see it is it's trying to teach you to be better, have not just I mean, you can indulge as much as you want to indulge, but it's low vibration things. It's low vibration. It's not, we're not going up into the heavens and doing S&M on each other, because, oh, well, that's fun times. No, you go down into low vibration to experience stuff because it's low vibration. And so if it's low vibration, how attached do you want to be to it? Do you want to try and figure out like, well, I'm really interested in it. I really like it, but why? 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 What's my draw? What's holding me down? You may want to look into it because yeah, it will hold you down. You can't move up and out. It is there's so much of the energy here. It is like hell or something. It's holding you. It's got a hold on you, and you have to look at it and let go. And so, and I don't know. I mean, we're going to see such a shift in this playing out. Like how we have like these people who all just seem lost. Well, it's going to be like a big shift. It's going to be like going into four-wheel drive and starting to go up a mountain or in four-wheel drive. You're just a confirmation that because before it's just rocks are flying, wheels are spinning, everything's flying around, but then it's gonna all of a sudden shift gears and it's gonna go into four-wheel drive, and then it's just gonna be going up that mountain, taking off, and people are gonna be seeing parts of themselves that they had no idea because they feed into these things and they don't stop and question themselves. And most people aren't even connected to their soul or realize that this place is a spiritual world, that you are here. What is that? There's all of a sudden just downpour or a big wind gust. Who knows? Who knows? Expect anything. I mean, the Vegas windstorm came out of nowhere apparently, and it fucking knocked houses down. I think it knocked power poles all down, down the 2 blocks or something. All the power poles went down. But I saw trees down on houses and stuff. So we're gonna keep getting hit with all these things. The sun is so cranked up. And then you have, the perspective over the fake sun and the real sun and the changing colors and stuff. Like, I don't even know. I know there's a fake sun. And the moon again last night was up in the same place, and it was out there in the day, in the light. You could see it. And then when I went outside, so at 2:30, there was nothing, nowhere. So I don't know if at 10, but why is it up? Like, weren't we taught that the moon comes up? The sun and moon are in this rotation, and they come up, and they go around. Like, the earth is like, let's think about that. Because, yeah, would. I'm telling you, this is what there's like, but they told us, so we're on this big giant thing, and they're telling us it's rotating around, and it's over here and over there, so they're across from each other. And then, so all the people on this side have this, all the people on this side have this, but somehow it's not, and it's up in the air first thing. It's not coming up. So, and it's been up there for hours, and then you go out at night and it's nowhere to be seen. And then it's like, but there was tons and tons of sky. Like, there was like, you looked up and it was like looking into the depth of the black hole, and there was just stars going, like lights. Because I think it's, stars or orbs. So souls and ships and stuff all going way up. So there was tons. And yesterday, they were spraying like crazy. I think the past 2 days. But yesterday morning, I was out there looking. I was like, there's distinct different fucking skies. That is a totally different color than this. These clouds are totally different. And you try and see, like, where is it? How is it going like this? But it's like these merging. And I swear to God, they are trying to cover up this all these different skies or something, because it looks to me so like I don't, they're different colors. It's like this part is like really grayish looking, and then these totally different clouds. Then over here you can have like blue, there could be no clouds, and over here you can have a totally different, like it's weird. It's so weird. Somebody the other day was showing that it was pouring rain at their house, and then they showed there's no clouds. No clouds. Where's the rain coming from? It's like it's just weird. Everything's weird. Everything is weird, and oh yeah, okay, because the train and the being real and whatever everything can be real. So that's more of it. That's not saying everything is like but everything can be. So whenever you're trying to figure it out, you don't have to be so stuck on if this is real, if this isn't real. It can be. That could be real. That could be real. That could be real. So, to me, just let it go with that. It's like, well, it could be real. It could be real. The possibilities out there. Everything is possible, and anything is possible, and everything is possible. And so, you know, there's going to be more and more. Yeah, it kind of is like what each person is able to open their minds to will become possible or real to them. So, yeah, it would be kind of like, it would be, okay, kind of think of like people are like, I don't believe in unicorns. And then they have a whole village over here. None of them believe in unicorns. Unicorns don't exist in this village. But you go to this other village, they all believe in unicorns, and unicorns exist there. And you see unicorns, and you can go there. Well, these people don't even go there. They don't even know that place exists until they can open their mind and think, well, maybe there could be unicorns. Well, this place says they've got unicorns. Let's go see the unicorns. And then all of a sudden, unicorns are real. And then unicorns are migrating and being in their village too. Maybe they bring them out a unicorn home. But it's like nothing is real until you open your mind to it or something. So when you start opening your mind to the possibilities of what is, what could be, that it becomes what it is. So everything is real. Like everything is just way deeper than what people have any concept of, because they're so cut off from the spiritual side. But that is all been done. So that's going to be a part of when the people have to shift out of it, and it's going because this is really happening on the earth, and they're just trying to get people to catch up. But that is also a part of like, well, we can't save everybody, because you as the soul has to connect. You have to plug yourself in. You have to connect to something. But right now, what we're seeing is all these people's, their biases and stuff keep them disconnected, because they keep being distracted over these different things. And but it's all coming to a head too. I mean, there's gonna be more stuff. Like a Diddy thing is only one thing. There's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be just like fireworks or something. And there's like the judicial. The judicial keep blowing up, and these people keep freaking out. But it's like, this is the corporation control that they have over us. It's through their fucking bullshit laws and shit. And the people who will keep them are a bunch of fucking pervs. So yeah, this has got to go down. You guys want to hold on to this and keep it in structure, and we want it to go down, because it is full of fucking mold and fucking corruption, greed, and it's heinous. So that going down is going to be good, but it has to keep exposing, because there's so many people who want to keep a hold of it. But every single thing is like I swear to God, that would be the biggest thing I would push, is people just really connecting to themselves. Because once you connect to yourself, you just start looking at the things different. And you will see, because your soul, because once you connect to yourself, your soul is giving a vision. So you just see things, I think, in a different level. And and it's not like somebody has to show you. You have an inner feeling about things. You have an inner knowing about things. And so, but this is like this slow roll, to try and get people to connect to themselves, is how I see it. Because that's what I would say, your biggest thing is like connecting to yourself, asking yourself questions, why am I doing this? Take notice of yourself. And and then connecting into yourself, your meditation, your time of reflection, connecting into mind, body, spirit. What is your body telling you? And that is one thing that so many people don't listen to their body. Your body is talking to you all the time. And it can be telling you through pain, through insult, through a lot of different ways that it's speaking to you. But you've got to tune into it. And so the more that you tune into this side of yourself, this spiritual side, this inner side, then the more you will understand. By understand, so you got to, understand to understand. So you got to stand inside of yourself to understand. But it could take time. It's like trying to tell somebody a story. You may not know the whole story from the time that it starts. It may take time for the story to be fully revealed to you. So that's where you have to trust into the story. So don't, as a lot of people are, oh, well, it's just too crazy. That's just too woo-woo and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's not. That's what how are you so cut off from yourself that you think that that's weird? Like, so the more that you can connect to yourself, I swear to God, it's like that's all you got to do. Once you start doing that, everything else will just start falling into place. You start figuring it out for yourself. You start understanding things and go in deeper into things, of your understanding of who you are. Understand you are a soul. You aren't just this character that you are building. You are a soul who has a lot of experience and a lot of aspects of yourself, and that your fears are deep. They come from real life experiences, that you had real bad things happen. And so you, part of your realization to self is to kind of go in there and baby yourself, to accept yourself, to be like, it's okay. Yeah, you've had some hard lives, man. Don't be hard on yourself. So, learning how to love yourself. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at where I'm already at today. So, yeah, I'm rambling all over the place. So hopefully I'm making sense. Because I don't know. Sometimes I'm just got like all these open files and I'm just looking at them and talking about them. And no big change there. And there, right there. So sometimes it's just like I'm so scattered. So hopefully you guys can put it together. But it seems pretty basic. You just want to connect to your soul and see like where your storyline fits into your whole storyline. And go more into you as the soul and not you as this character that is fetishy and stuff. Those are the things you want to kind of brush the dandruff off of yourself. You want to get this shit off of you. And so there's going to be some hard lessons, some hurt feelings, or some deep stuff that's going to be coming up in people. And they're going to be real disgusted with themselves, real sickened by themselves. Because there's a lot of this shit that people can't do or wouldn't do if they were connected to themselves. Because your soul, I'm telling you, it's just sitting there just to watch. And all these people are sitting there saying, oh, nobody can see. You can do whatever you want. Nobody's watching. It's like, God, do you look at yourself when you look in the mirror? Like, do you not see these eyes staring back? But anyways, I don't know. This is going to be all of a sudden where a lot of people are going to realize, oh, somebody's watching. Somebody's watching. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But hopefully this is the day before everything changes. So we can finally get to this point of things going in a better direction, things flipping over and going the other way, as we're just running into this wall full speed ahead, and it just is like, oh my God, how hard can we hit this shit? So, anyways, just, I'm telling you, through all of the dramas and all of the fucking bullshit, the biggest focus, your biggest, what is that? Your biggest, it's a slang word. I'm hearing it, but I can't see it. But your biggest flex, your biggest flex, your biggest flex in life is getting to love yourself. Learning how to love you is the biggest flex that you can do in this world. So learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, and how to have the day you want to have. That's what you need to focus on. That's going to get you everywhere you want to go. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow because I'm sure there will be more shit. So talk to you later. Bye.